Hello everyone, this is Keith Jackson and welcome to Jack's Math Notebook. In this video, we're going to learn how to add mixed fractions with unlike denominators using the LCD method, the least common denominator method, which is really the least common multiple method to find out what the denominator or the least common denominator will be. And we have three big examples to show you how we can do that. And so let's take a look at the first big example in which we have 3 2/5 plus 2 3/4. As you can see, we have two different denominators when we adding these mixed fractions. And so we're going to have to find their least common denominator by counting by fives and then counting by fours and see what number matches up the best. And so if we count by fives, we will get 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And if we count by fours, we will get 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. And as you can see, 20 will be our least common denominator when we add these two fractions. And so all we're going to do is this. We're going to just park this 20 right here. We're going to park this 20 right here in these two denominator slots. And then we're going to look at this 4 and we're going to ask ourselves, what number times 4 will give me 20? And that answer is 5. And whatever we do to the denominator, we do to the numerator. And so 3 times 5 would give us 15, letting us know that 3/4 is the same as 15 20 is. All right, so we're going to do the same thing with this 5 as the denominator, and we're going to have to multiply it by 4 to get 20, and whatever we do to the denominator, we're going to do to the numerator. And we know that 2 times 4 would give us 8, and let's add those numerators together, leaving the denominator as is. And so when we do that, we have 8 plus 15 will give us 23, and so now we have 23 20ths, and then when we add the whole numbers, 3 plus 2, we will get 5. But we have something really awkward here. We have 5 and 23 20ths. And so we're going to have to do something first. Now, first of all, let's turn this part into a mixed fraction. By doing this, go 23 divided by 20. And we know that 20 goes into 23 one time because 20 times 1 will give us 20. 23 minus 20 will give us 3. And so we have our whole number, which is 1. And we have our remainder right here as our numerator. And we're going to keep 20 as our denominator. And so we have 5 plus 1 and 3/20. And now that's pretty easy because we're just going to add 5 to 1. 5 plus 1 will give us 6. We just keep the fraction 6 and 3/20 right here. Okay, let's go on to big example 2. And we're going to add 5 and 3/7 to 1 and 2/3. And as you can see right here, we have two different denominators. So let's count by those denominators. Let's count by 7s and let's count by 3s. And here we go right here. So if we count by 3s, we go 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, and 24. And if we count by 7s, we'll go 7, 14, 21, and 28. And as you can see, 21 will be our match right here. And that's going to serve as our least common denominator for these two mixed fractions, as you can see right here. So let's park this 21 in this denominator slot. And let's park this 21 in this denominator slot. I kind of slurred that, didn't I? But let's get back to business. And so we know that 3 times 7 will give us 21. Whatever we do to the bottom, we do to the top. So 2 times 7 will give us 14 right here. And so we know that 2/3 is the same as 14 21st. And let's do the same thing with 3/7 because we know that 7 times 3 will give us 21. And whatever we do here, we do up here. And 3 times 3 will give us 9. And here's what we have. We have 9 plus 14, which will give us 23 over 21. 5 plus 1 will give us 6. And we have another dilemma here, right? Because we have a situation in which we have an improper fraction. And so we're going to clear that up through division because we're going to divide 23 by 21 as you see right here. And we know that 21 goes into 23 one time because 21 times 1 will give us 21. 23 minus 21 will give us a 2 remainder, right? And so as you can see right here, this one will serve as our whole number. 2 will be the numerator because it is the remainder, and 21 is our denominator. And all we're going to do is just add 6 to 1, and we're going to get 7. 7 and 2 over 21 is our answer right here. Now let's move on to our final big example in which we have 6 and 2/7. So I'm going to repeat that. We have 6 and 2/7 plus 3 and 1/4. And as you can see, we have 7 and 4. There are two different denominators, and we're going to have to find a common denominator between those two denominators. And we can do that by counting by 7s. And we have 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. And we can count by 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, and 28. There's our least common denominator right there, our least common denominator. And we're going to park that least common denominator of 28 in this slot and in this slot right here because we know that 4 times 7 will give us 28. Whatever we do to the bottom, we do to the top, and 1 times 7 will give us 7, letting us know that 1/4 is the same as 7/28. And we're going to do the same thing with this fraction because we know that 7 times 4 will give us 28. Whatever we do to the denominator, y'all, we're going to do to the numerator. 2 times 4 will give us 8. And let's add those together. 8 plus 7 will give us 15 over 28. And we're just going to add 6 and 3, which will give us 9. And so this one is easy. Our final answer is going to be 9 and 15, 28. So, all right, we're finished, y'all. All right, you have been given a lot of information. I wouldn't blame you if you need to pause the video to take a look at these 3 big examples or replay this video as many times you need to gain a deeper understanding of adding mixed fractions with different denominators using the least common denominator method. But in the meantime, please comment, share, like, and then subscribe to Jack's Math Notebook for more content. Thank you and goodbye.